getting ready here.
This is going to be starting in about 20 seconds.
I'm ready whenever you want.
All right.
Okay, it's going to be very hard to get.
Are you on?
Yes. Hey, Rick, you're about ready to get an update on.
You got it. All right, everybody here?
Just not yet.
I'm sorry?
Hold on a sec. We're ready.
Everybody's ready? Okay. Just before 9:30 last night, we received a phone call from a woman who was concerned for the safety of a cab driver. She reported that her son was in the cab and he was armed with a handgun. He was in this cab following an armed domestic dispute that had occurred in an apartment where a family member had been threatened with the handgun. The cab driver ultimately dropped the suspect back off near his residence, and he returned to the apartment where the dispute originated on Mindanao Drive, close to where we are right now. Officers returned to the apartment with the mother to talk to him, and officers spoke with the suspect through the door. The suspect was agitated and uncooperative, and when he opened the door a few inches, officers attempted to enter the apartment. The suspect then fired multiple shots into the door towards the officers where they were trying to enter the apartment. The officers backed off and evacuation started for the surrounding apartments, and telephone contact was made with the suspect to try to talk him out, but he had refused to come out of the apartment. A SWAT call-out was initiated as an arrest warrant was being prepared for 3 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The suspect made both suicidal and homicidal threats as officers continued to speak to him on the phone in an attempt to bring it to a peaceful resolution. And the SWAT team arrived and began deploying around the perimeter and relieving the patrol officers who were still there on the scene. A SWAT sniper saw the suspect open a second-story window and then disappear from view. He returned a short time later with a firearm, extended his arm, and pointed it towards officers on the perimeter. The SWAT sniper fired 1 round in response from his rifle, which struck the suspect. SWAT officers then forced open the front door to check on the suspect, and he was found to be deceased. His firearm was found inside the apartment with him, and the investigation and interviews are ongoing at this time, and we're joined by the State Attorney's Office and the Medical Examiner's Office out here at the scene this morning. More details related to the incident will be provided later today as they become available, but I will try to answer a few questions for you.
As for the suspect's mother, can you say how she got a hold of that information about her son having a gun and holding her?
She saw him with the firearm. She was there during the originating domestic incident that led to him ultimately getting into this cab with the firearm.
Was the domestic incident in relation to the mother or in relation to another party that was in that apartment complex?
There were multiple family members in the home, and it was with another one, but I may be able to detail that later today, but that still needs to play out as we investigate.
Director, we weren't quite on air just yet. Can you repeat the part about how you all were notified? Is something about a concern for a cab driver? Can you start?
Yes. A woman called us. She was concerned for the safety of a cab driver, and she told us that her son was in this cab with the cab driver, and he was armed with a firearm. And this came right after a domestic incident in which the firearm was produced and a family member was threatened. So she was worried for the safety of the cab driver.
About what time was that cab ride happening?
Well, this call came in to us about 9:30, and this was as the cab ride was going on, so it was about that same time, a little before 9:30.
How is the cab driver doing this morning?
The cab driver is fine. Unknown to the mom, I believe she was concerned about the cab driver. I don't believe there was any threatening interaction between the actual cab driver and her son.
Was this person taking a cab ride away from the home, or was he returning to the home? I know you said it was after.
He was returning to the home, and I'll provide more detail later today on this, but to try to cool things off, he was given a ride away from the home and ultimately ended up getting a cab to come back.
Can you explain it? The briefing, I know, is later this morning, but there's been so many details involving this story. We've been hoping to grab answers. Why did it take so long to be able to get answers in regards to a case that's so elaborate like this?
You mean this briefing right now? Well, these are very detailed investigations that we do, so we don't want to speak before we have all the facts in that we know. So everything I'm telling you now is confirmed at this point in time. This isn't the kind of thing we want to come out on early and give information that we're not sure of or hasn't been confirmed yet. So I'd come to you as soon as I have details and give them to you.
At what time was the SWAT team actually called out comparable?
I don't have the complete timeline with me. I just know the chain of events that started. It happened just shortly before 9:30 last night.
And just to clarify, I had somebody talking to me earlier. That man did die here at the scene.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Can you tell us
Director, when you
anything
talked
about
about family members inside, do you know how many family members and if there are any children or anything like that?
There was at least 2 family members inside. I don't believe there were any children, but I don't have all that confirmed for you at this time.
You guys don't mind.
All right, Director, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you.